2-2-1. The Wings took 5 of 10 points over the last, I don't know, 8-9 days since we've been on.
Better than I thought. I mean, I thought we were going to lose all of them.
Yeah, I think they did all right. I don't think anyone can, complain about how they've played recently. I think the first Lightning game. I think it was a 2-1 loss. Vasilevsky really just kind of outplayed Grice, and it was a really close game. The bad one was the 4-1 loss in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when Picard, I think, he got pulled after, I don't know, what
He
was it,
got
13
shelled.
minutes?
Yeah, he got shelled. I don't know if he just wasn't ready. If one of his Blashful C game, we didn't bring our A, B, or C game. I don't know if he even brought it. He didn't bring his game, obviously, but he got shelled. I mean, that's a good Florida team, though.
It
At the
is,
same
but
time, that's a Florida team without Ekblad, right?
right.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no one's seen Calvin Picard since either. So, we don't know what happened.
It's Taxi Squad
But Taxi
for
Squad.
sure. It's a paper move.
I could be lucky if he was on the Taxi Squad.
Would you take that personal though?
Put it on the Taxi Squad?
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, just FYI, you're gonna see on Twitter, you're gonna down to the Taxi
Oh,
Squad.
no.
What would you do? I mean, do you go back to what do they do? Go back to Grand Rapids, or do you think
No,
they got a schedule?
they just hang out.
Oh,
They
okay.
just hang out and practice with the
Shit,
team.
where?
They
Detroit?
yeah, they do. That's what the Taxi Squad is. It's for COVID reasons that they're like within the team bubble.
So the
they don't
team
have
bubble,
to.
where do these guys stay? Do they stay in the rink? Where do you think they stay?
I don't know where those guys stay. The rest of them just stay at home.
I would assume that. Well, you got roommates, I guess, and then maybe I heard there was a rumor Detroit, the Red Wings got some space in one of those high rises for some like the rookies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, downtown.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. I'd actually like to see that. That'd be a nice video.
Nice. What? Just go to their place.
FSD crib, no Bally Cribs.
Bally Cribs.
Bally Cribs. There you go.
Bally.
Terrible scoreboard, by the way.
Yeah, the scoreboard is
It's
awful.
awful. It's terrible.
It's awful.
What we got next?
Okay, so we beat Columbus.
Okay. Bad Columbus team right now.
Yeah, they are bad. That was a nice game. You've seen Svech and Rasmussen get a goal. I think Corona got an empty netter. I think Nemesnikov got an empty netter there too.
Sure.
And then the 4-1 loss. Grice actually came in and played pretty well after that.
He had something to prove, I think.
Yeah, I mean you're behind Calvin, Pickard in the depth chart of goaltending.
He's leading all of our goalies. Our AHL starter is leading all of our goalies.
Well, small sample size. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
They look better. I mean, whatever.
Then you had the 2-3 overtime loss in Florida. I think that was
played well.
I think that was Drieger playing there,
which we are terrible against.
Yeah, we're bad against Drieger.
We are absolutely terrible. It's backup goalie. We just make them all look good.
Unless you're
Gibson,
Gibson.
man, poor guy.
Yeah, he
didn't know what the hell happened. I don't know. We'll get to it, right? We're on Florida right now.
Yeah. Okay. So then we talked about the 2-1 loss against the Lightning. Vasilevsky outplayed Grice just a little bit. That was a really close game. The Wings could have won that game, really. I think.
Yeah, I didn't. At no point did I think, oh, we're nowhere near, because you could play Tampa. Here's the thing with Tampa: you could play against Tampa, be in the game up to the third period, and not really be in the game because you get at the end of it, like in the 2015 series we played them.
Oh yeah.
I felt like we were in that series, right? Mm-hmm. But then we weren't. It's just like we thought we were in it, but we were never really in it.
Well, that's like
because that's how good they are.
Well, that's like the old school Wings. Like they could play a terrible 2 periods, come back and win.
You'd be in Game 6 against, I don't know, St. Louis, and they were never really in those series anyway. So good teams too.
So then, 5-1 against the Lightning. That was Sunday game. And yeah,
it was a fun one to watch, though. It's good to see the guys.
It was a fun one to watch.
Take off a little bit.
It's nice to see a little lopsided win every now and then. We don't, as fans, we don't get that very often anymore.
No, it's just good to see the guys play. I mean, you get to see Ras, you get to see Svech a little bit, and he cleared waivers.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll get to that. But it's good to see the guys get up and kind of let loose a little bit. I know everybody wants to see a high scoring game, whatever. The guys hat trick here and there. But it's good to see them kind of open up a little bit. I feel like these guys are so uptight with losing. It's just maybe something happened in the locker room. I feel like there was a closed meeting, keep Blash out, kind of like how the Avalanche did Mark Crawford when Bork was on the team. You ever hear that story?
I've heard that
story. They shut him out of the locker room. Probably they need to do that more often then if that's the case. Something happened in that locker room. Those guys seemed on fire that night.
Well, again, we got the double backup. I think Gibson had 2 starts all year at any level before going into that game.
Like I said, that's not our fault.
Well, it's not our fault, but fault. I mean, you could just tell they were resting Vasilevsky, and that's just how it was going to be.
Yeah, next month's last month of the year, last month of the hockey year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Play through May, so they basically didn't care. They threw him out there. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen. Vasilevsky was getting the day off, and that was just kind of it.
Yeah.
So again, 2-2-1. You took 5 of 10. 5 of 10
It's pretty good.
points
It's a pretty good
through those
week.
5 games.
Against
That's
that schedule, that's a pretty good week.
yeah. I mean, Florida and Tampa Bay are really good teams. Columbus, not so much. And then yeah, you kind of touched on it. Svechnikov waived. I think a lot of us were like really surprised at this.
Just
And
upset. Right? Are you upset? I'm upset. I'm upset about it. It blows my mind.
I am upset about this, and I'll tell you why. First reason was there was no reason to have to waive him based on the roster size.
Okay, explain that one to me.
We were not at a 23-man capped roster.
Okay.
So I think we were at 22 guys with Svech.
Okay.
And Svech, Smith, and who else was called up?
Chalowski,
No,
Grass.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but like Nielsen had already cleared waivers, so Nielsen could be sent back to the taxi
Right.
off the 23-man roster. And
Nobody picked up Nielsen.
no, of course, no one picked up Nielsen.
Oh.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. But I mean, it would have been nice. Right?
No one's picked. I mean, you gotta think Shane Gostisbehere passed waivers this
Do you think
last
they
week.
got? Do you think there's an inside little thing they got going on? Hey, don't claim our guys. COVID.
I don't know.
Clear roster
There's something kind of weird about that because Gostisbehere was fantastic a few years ago. He kind of went down a little bit, but he's still a massive upgrade on the power play for a lot of teams.
He's a big dude, right?
I think he's like 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, okay.
He's not. I don't think he's real big.
That's decent size. I think that should be the baseline.
But he's a good offensive guy. He's not fantastic defensively, and
he can quarterback a PP,
but he can quarterback a PP for sure. He'd be the best power play guy we have. I mean, we got Christian Juice out there right now, so he's a definite upgrade. He fits within the cap. I think he has one more year remaining, but if he didn't work out this year, you could have exposed him to Seattle.
They're going to trade him, right? Because they need goalie help.
Who's that?
Philly.
Yeah, they do need goalie
help. They need goalie help, and Bernie's on their list. I know that. I've seen that all over the place, so expect that probably to happen.
So, anyways, back to like the whole thing about like I don't know if there's collusion, but I think there's maybe like a kind of the restricted free agent offer sheets.
Okay.
There's kind of an unspoken rule there. Like
I think
it
so
just
too.
Doesn't get done.
I think so too.
So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Even in 30 Thoughts today, it was brought up. Yeah, that it wasn't a surprise to the Flyers that got Gostisbehere passed through waivers. They just thought they knew the market, and they weren't really worried about it. But Svechnikov was brought up in that discussion. They and it was like they were really surprised that someone didn't take a shot at him.
Carolina, right? I mean, that makes sense to me. Get the kids together.
A lot of people, put the two brothers together. That might be nice. Fantastic.
But I'd watch it.
I just don't understand why you're maybe jerking around this guy who he's cheap. He can contribute,
right?
And even if he's bottom six, I mean, let's not even talk. He's a top six forward at this point because he's probably not. But outside of Ernie, how many of these bottom six guys are contributing?
No, I mean, not as much as Svech, that's for sure.
Yeah, so
maybe Glendening, face-off wise.
Well, face-off wise, okay. If we're talking whole game, yeah, maybe. But really, Svech is not a defensive liability either. So this is going on, I don't know. I didn't really understand it.
Wonder what happens when Bert. Well, can we agree Bert's not coming back, right?
I think it'd be weird if he came back for the last month. They still didn't have any timeline on him at all at this point. So
what are we doing? Let's find what's wrong with him.
Something's wrong with him.
Upper body. He must have broke something. Can we just get? Hey, he broke it. He's got COVID. I don't know.
He doesn't have COVID. What's going on? It wasn't a head injury. Back is the general belief. I don't remember if that was ever.
That or he's holding out. That's conspiracy theory there. He's holding out until Blash is gone. Until we get Torts in here.
Why would you want
just take the culture?
Why would you want Torts?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty self-destructive tonight. Honestly, I mean, I don't want Torts, but I mean, shit, that'd be what? That'd be Blashel times 15. He'd be putting guys on taxis. He'd put the whole lineup on taxi squad. Bring up.
Well, he doesn't have Line doing anything good right now.
God, man, what a waste of talent over there. That was a punishment.
Line?
Yeah.
Oh man, that trade looks terrible from Columbus's point of view. But anyways, so Svech waived again. He cleared, thankfully. Yeah, he's playing
tonight.
Yeah, he's playing tonight. We're recording this during the Nashville game.
Yep.
We've seen it. It is 1-0 right now. DeKaiser scored the first goal.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know the result of that before you see this.
Right.
So other than that, per Blash today, Ryan, Bernier, and Gagne are all supposed to be available for Thursday. which is some good news. At least for trade deadline implications, this is pretty good news. Bernier is probably the best piece that we have right now.
Yeah, that's I mean, he's hurt. I mean, Ryan I don't think Ryan what do
I
you
think
get
I
what do
think
you get
Ryan
for
could go.
Ryan? What do you think you get for that?
You might get a third
Baseline.
rounder.
3rd rounder?
Yeah,
Man,
I mean, okay. Let's. I know there's a lot of people like, oh, it'd be great to get first rounders and this and that, and like, first off, this is gonna be a boring trade deadline. I'm almost assured of
yeah,
that.
I agree. It's gonna be
I'm
just
the
everybody's where you got expansion draft next year,
yeah
right? It's COVID. And
yeah.
like we
So
were talking about the unwritten rule they got going on here with taxi squad waivers,
yeah,
don't claim
waivers and
them.
all that.
It is gonna I think
But
it's gonna be
it's
boring. I
yeah,
think
I think that with the especially with the expansion draft, like if you make a hockey trade for any of these guys who have an extra year,
sure.
you've got to be able to protect them. So with whatever else you have going on, especially for contenders, that kind of gets tough. Unless you're trading some other things out, but normally they're not going to do that. And then the money situation and all those other things, you're not going to have gate revenue for the playoffs in all likeliness in most places, especially in
You go to
Canada,
Dallas. If you go to Dallas,
Dallas, Florida, they all can, but obviously Canada doesn't. So,
yeah, they shut down Ontario again.
yeah. So, anyways, so that's gonna make it really tough. And on top of that, you've basically got the guys who are like the only thing we really have going for our trade deadline pieces is that they're cheap. These guys don't cost much money, and they're gonna be easy, especially if you retain salary. Like if you retain salary on Merrill, you're talking like I don't know, like I don't know what it's talking about prorated, but if you just look at it from like a cap available at the deadline type space situation, like cap friendly, you're talking like 300K. So it's really cheap. So you might get some things, but people expecting like, first rounders, maybe even second rounders, you're probably asking for a little too much.
Well, I mean, I don't. If you do keep them, you're keeping them strictly because of the expansion draft, right? Um, I think it's going to be, or I think you're right. I think we're going to see a lot of 3rd, 4th rounders. I mean,
I,
Ryan's probably not going to bring anything. Bernier probably brings the most. I think
I
if
think
you,
Bernier gets you a second, maybe. I think there might be some bidding for Bernier.
it depends on who you back into a corner on it. Because if Flyers are a French team, Carter Hart's having a down year,
Yeah.
they need to get in straight up. And then who else? The Kings? Well, they're not
No,
even in it,
they're
right?
not.
They're
They're
so far
nothing.
out of it. Who else?
Really?
Toronto. Toronto needs help. One.
Toronto needs help. They like Hall. I don't see that getting done though. I just don't see how they can get the cap in.
You know what they're going to do, and this is what's probably going to lose this Stanley Cup from. They're going to run with this kid they got going right now. That's won 9 straight. I think it's going to be 10 straight here. They got this young kid
Oh,
running,
yeah, I've seen that. I don't
Hutchinson or
really know
something
much
like that. He's going to come in, and they're going to be like, okay, we don't need a goalie. They're going to go in that first round and just get absolutely obliterated by flipping. Who's in that Edmonton or something like that? Even if they get
uh
it, who's in that?
I don't know
It's all
who's
Canadian, right?
yeah, it's all Canadian. I don't know who's fourth in that
Montreal.
division.
That's who it is.
That's right.
Montreal.
Imagine if Price just turned it on for the
Oh, I
series.
would. I'd love it. Gosh,
That'd be fantastic.
they would be spilling blood in Toronto like they have been, buddy. This would be
Well,
way worse.
I don't know about
That team's so good.
I don't know about blood. They'd be spilling a lot of tears though.
Oh,
And it'd be
blood.
fantastic.
Are you kidding me, Toronto? They're going to kill their firstborns. That's what it's going to be like if they don't get past that first round, which I hope they don't.
This is like their easiest shot to the semis, pretty much in forever.
It's all about heat going into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Or Detroit going in that one year, 02, we lost the first 2 to Vancouver, right?
Mhm.
It's all about heat.
Turn it on.
Calgary to Kiprusoff, and then the Ducks with Jaguar. Like
Mhm.
you get a hot goalie, which Carey can very well get hot.
Yep.
You're gonna lose 4 straight.
You
Just
look
like
at
Tampa and Columbus.
you look at Bennington.
Oh yeah,
So I
seriously.
mean, there's probably the
We
most probably the
know.
most recent of an absolutely just hot out of nowhere goaltender.
Yeah,
But
I would love to see it.
but anyways, yeah, if we can get Bernie and Ryan back, I don't think Gagne's bringing much at the deadline. He's just gonna hang out. I can see Ryan and Bernie definitely going though, and like
Right.
we said, there's no timeline on Bert. The deadline is Monday. Hopefully, we see some stuff before Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to sit and watch Twitter all day Monday.
Which I
Or
thought's going to be that and TSN, which we don't get because TSN has the best overall coverage of
yeah,
it. They dedicate a whole Sports Center show
I have to get
over
my
there.
yeah. You have
Wait
to.
till ESPN comes back. That's going to be fun.
Oh yeah,
Barry,
when it's on
Steve, oh, yeah.
when it's on ESPN, it'll be a
Oh, I
blast.
can't wait.
But yeah, really. I mean, other than that, it's been kind of an uneventful
It has.
week.
It's kind of boring. I mean, the hockey's good. You got to see some rivalries coming around. That Colorado Phoenix game, was it?
Yeah, that was
That was a good one.
That was a good game.
Colorado or no, Dallas and Vegas. I think went at it.
Well, Colorado's leading the league now.
Yeah,
They're
Colorado's going to. I think it's going to play Vegas. I think Colorado makes it the Cup.
I'm surprised Vegas has fallen as much as they have so far. That would be an amazing first round
Oh,
series.
for sure.
That'd be
It's going to be
definitely
so
worth
physical,
watching.
and it's going to be so fun to watch.
Um, Unfortunately, we can't talk about the Wings in a first round series.
Yeah, well,
As much as some people thought we were going to make the playoffs this
Seattle
year,
Kraken are going to make it before we do.
we're just not going to make the playoffs this year. So
That's going to be a fun team to watch too. You got to think who we've already done the video on it, but I mean, it's going to be fun seeing Seattle possibly make it.
you think they?
Right?
I don't know. I think there was a lot of lessons learned in that first expansion draft.
Well, they're doing deals right now. You know that, right?
They're trying to do deals. I mean,
how much of a deal can you do, right?
Right. I mean,
Picks.
that'll get done. Well, they're not going to trade their. I mean, you think that's going to be their franchise guy, whoever they take their first draft pick ever. That'd be a big deal. So they're not going to trade that. But yeah, I mean, there'll be some deals out there to be had for them. DeKaiser will look really good in a Seattle jersey,
Hopefully.
I'm sure.
Hopefully.
But I won't see him at 10 o'clock at night. So oh well. And other than that, yeah,
That's it. I'm good.
I don't have much. Yeah.
We talk about Stetcher. Oh yeah.
What do you got?
Okay.
Well,
we got to ask what is going on with our media here? What is going on, guys? Come on. Ask the hard questions. Like they're scared of this guy. They're scared of Blashill. Come on. Ask the right questions. You asked the question on Stetcher, and you got maybe 2 sentences. 4 sentences.
This was. I mean, this is a pathetic answer.
The absolutely worst answer possible. What the hell what is that PR person doing? Like, why they sit this guy down? He's like, it's like listening to Mike Babcock, a less grammatically correct Mike Babcock talk about this.
You don't have the Canadian accent.
There was absolutely, yeah, he tries really hard. It's like a southern me trying to fake a southern accent. That's how bad it is. But he couldn't give a clear answer. Oh, he was in, but he was out. Somebody had to die on the altar before we go into the next game. This is what we're dealing with right now. Stetcher has been fantastic this year.
It really just sounded like he kind of rolled the dice, and he had like the defenseman's heads on the dice, and whoever came up was, we're sitting that
That's
guy.
what we're seeing right
and
now.
And then we won a game, so we sat again. So I think he sat 2 in a row, and then
Who's running the team? Is it Bilesma? Is it Blashill? Is it Stevie? It's not Stevie because I think Stevie sits up in that his sweet ass suite up there and just like puts his hands in his head. That's why you never see him up in the thing. He's just watching TV in his office, which is what I would do.
I don't even know if he's at the games because I know there was something about at the NHL release when they talk about COVID protocols that the GMs didn't get direct contact with the team.
That explains a lot, actually. That actually explains a lot.
I mean, I'm sure they have Zoom calls and like team meetings on Zoom and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think they have any actual like one-on-one. Obviously, you've seen him with Larkin get the C and all that, and that's all good. But I think for the most part, I think there was a ruling against that just for COVID protocol that the GMs weren't with the team.
Well, I look at when Ryan came in, he said he was excited to be here. Who the hell says they're excited to be here right now? You got a new rink.
You came out of Ottawa being bought out. I think you're just excited to have a chance somewhere.
I mean, if I had to choose between 2 places to pick right now, I'm playing in Detroit. No bias aside, I'm playing in Detroit. I'm not going to Ottawa. Every single interview I've heard about Ottawa has been it's the most boring city in the NHL. That being said, when Ryan had that interview, there was a good rehab project there, right? He was going to do it, but he said he was excited to be here. I mean, what's he going to say, right? But at the same time, the interview was he had spoken to Stevie, he had seen Stevie in person, and he had talked to him, and he felt excited to be here. Now, I do believe that. Now, if what you say, which I'm sure is correct, that he doesn't have direct contact with the team, he's not talking to these guys.
Not like in person. I mean, I'm sure he's talking to them.
It's different, a Zoom call. It's like, I'm going to FaceTime you, and we're going to do this thing, right? It's different, right? So, I mean, it's if you get that face-to-face contact, Stevie's one of those guys, like when he talks, you listen. So you get in the locker room, you listen. You go talk, have your ear.
Yeah, he has a presence. I mean, yeah.
So I mean,
3-time cup
that
champion.
Excuse for why Stetcher was out was absolutely unforgivable.
It was bad.
Absolutely unforgivable.
It's like, someone had to sit, so I chose him. So he wasn't there.
If
that's
my reaction, here's my reaction if he says that sitting in the seat asking this question like this, what does that mean? Can you elaborate, Joe, please? Or what's Jeff? I would call him Joe. It's a power move anyway. Coach Joe, can you elaborate on that terrible answer? Anyways, that's it. Ran over.
All right, yeah, we're over time. We're off topic, and we're done.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
Have a good one.